Yo boys, back with another video. Today we are going to be looking over the 10.5. I'm not even going to say all of it, just 10.5. It is what it is. It's going to be a good old-fashioned nerfs and buffs. Now, I've already looked over a little bit of this, and overall, I think it's actually really good nerfs. So, I think they needed to not buff a little bit of a certain thing. Like, certain classes were already A tier, and then now they're going to be making them S tier. See, the thing with Blizzard is they try to nerf S tier classes and then they try to make A tier classes. It's basically like switching places. So instead of this classing being S tier, that class is going to be S tier, and then instead of everyone being like, oh, Rets OP, blah blah blah, it's going to be like Mage, or it's just going to be something else. So they don't have a thing of like they don't know how, like, their brain cells don't understand that. They don't know what balancing is. Basically, they just have to have something that's broken at all times. There's never been a spot in the game since BFA to where they've had a season that's been balanced to where there's always something just broken. That's just how it is. That's how the game has always been. But then again, that's like an issue with all the games nowadays. So it is what it is. So we're going to be starting off here with Druid and fix an issue. And by the way, if you guys should know before this, I will pronounce a lot of words wrong. My reading skills are very eighth, not even. I'd say about very, very slim on knowing these big words. So you guys can just melt. You can melt me in the comments, and I actually prefer that because I know a lot of people that watch me are good old fashioned hate watchdogs. So I appreciate all of you. But fix an issue where cosmic rapidity did not increase the frequency of shooting stars to occur based on. And by the way, I don't even know what half these abilities do, but I'm basically just showing you guys so you guys, because a lot of people don't even know that nerfs and buffs comes out, so you're not even caring what I say basically. On the increased rate of moonfire, sunfire, and stellar fire flare, don't really care about that. I think Boomy right now is good damage wise, but it'll never be viable. Like, let's be honest, if you face a Boomy in solo queue and you just focus them, they're basically like an Ellie. If you focus an Ellie, you're just gonna kill them. There's nothing they can do, and unless they're very, very good, they're just not gonna have a chance to survive. So I think Boomy right now, it would need a little bit more defensive. Like, it just needs defensives. Like, it needs survival. It need like what an evoker has. It would need double wall. You can't be kicked while you're walled. All that good stuff. But that's basically Boomy. Lunar Eclipse now increases the damage Starfire does to nearby enemies by 30%. Was 50%. So actually, Boomy ended up getting nerfed. I was not expecting that. But okay, so they ended up nerfing Boomy a little bit, not by like a too much, I guess. I don't know how much Starfire was doing, but now we're going to be going Restoration Druid. Now, this is very good. So, reduce healing by 10%. Insane. Finally, they nerfed Druid a little bit. That's what everybody's been asking for. I think Druid's Evokers are just god tier right now, and they needed that nerf, so this was very good. Adaptive Swarm now increases the effectiveness of periodic effects by 20%, was 25%, so a small nerf, 5% nerf on the good old fashioned Adaptive Swarm. For Restoration Druids only, Adaptive Swarm healing and damage reduced by 10%, so that's a nerf on Feral Druid, that's a nerf on all Druids right there, all Druid specs, which, personally, I don't really know how strong it was. When I'm playing Myrosa Druids, it didn't feel like it was doing much more, but maybe it was doing a lot more and I just didn't realize it. Dream State now reduces cooldown by up to 20 seconds while channeling Tranquility. Was 15 seconds, so this ended up getting buffed. So Dream State now reduces cooldown while channeling. So I guess that's a buff. Mage, Fire Mage, all abilities. This is an insane buff. I think Fire Mage will be the best mage spec between. I mean, I think all three specs of Mage is going to be absolutely insane. Frost Mage was already really good. Arcane Mage was already S tier, or I'd say about yeah, I'd say S tier. Like, maybe not in solo queue wise. Solo queue wise, it has a little bit of trouble with survivability. That's pretty much every caster though. Let's be honest. Unless you're like a demo lock that can just like spam, CC for 2 decades. But oh, yeah, it really did need the buff. Fire Mage needed the buff. Now, what I don't understand is why they buffed Frost. Frost was already doing good. Like I said, they're trying to make certain classes go up and they're trying to make certain classes go down. It'll never be a balanced game, so people just really need to understand. Somebody's always going to be mad. That's just how it goes. So, Frost, Fire, big buffs. 5% on every ability is a big buff, trust me. It's not as big as, Fury Warrior, but it is a buff. Mistweaver, Lesson of Despair now increases critical strike while above 50% health. It was 80%, so it did a little bit get a nerf right there, a 30% nerf. This is an adjustment to the 10.0.5 PTR values. Don't really care about that. Holy, now personally, I think Holy Paladin needed a big buff. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Holy Pallies, they get their one big heal and then they're absolutely just garbage. They have good utility, but like maybe just like tank down their utility. Maybe only give them one bop. Like instead of having the talent to give them two bops, just give it like one bop and only. So basically, give them two freedoms, but only one bop is what I'm saying. I think having two bops, one bubble, 1 minute sack, I think it's a little bit too much. But I think overall, I think their healing need buff. Now I haven't seen this is just starting out, so you never know. I don't even know if they got buff. Disc Priest got one of the biggest buffs I've ever seen a healer get. This is insane. I think personally, I think Holy should have got buffed yet again. Now I know, like a week ago or a week and a half ago, there was something about Holy Priest getting buffed by like 15, 20%. I don't know if that's already in currently. You guys would have to let me know. I haven't even. I don't. To me, it doesn't even feel like it. I feel like if I ever face a Holy Priest, they just have a Serenity and then we just kill them, or we just kill the other DPS. But maybe I don't know. I really haven't faced any Holy Priest, so I wouldn't really know. Flash heal increased, insane. I love this buff. I love all these buffs for Disc. I think Disc is going to be an S tier class or a spec, and I think people are finally going to realize that you can play other healers now because Drew got nerfed. Now, if Evoker got nerfed, I think there will be a lot more healers playing solo queue. Now, in order for healers to play solo queue, now they do get instant queues. Now, the problem with it is they need to make the MMR system to where, let's say you're 1600, so you need to have 1600 people be able to get with like 1900 players, to where there's like a 300 MMR gap to where you're getting queues, because like there's such a small margin for 100 MMR, queues. Like let's say you're 1600, you're usually the normal average player is going to be 1600 CR and they'll be 1700 MMR, and that's like the average player. That's even some gladiators I know. So I think they need to make the MMR a little bit bigger so then you're getting more rating whenever you win. I think it's pretty dumb to win 3 or 4 games and gain 15 CR because your MMR is like legit 50 CR above. I think it's dumb personally. Like on my rogue, I'm 2570. I legit went 0 and 6 facing two evokers, a ret paladin, and a holy pally. The worst comp I've ever. You're not getting any worse than that. So it's the MMR situation I think needs personally fixed, but that's just me. Power Word healing, Radiance healing increased by 100%, Renew healing increased by 25%. These are insane buffs. Personally, I might even make a Disc Priest just to play it and see how it is. Ultimate Radiance increased the healing done by your Radiance by 10%, was 100%, so that ended up getting a nerf. Sins of Many increases damage dealt by 40% as high as was 30%, so that personally, I didn't think the damage. I don't think they should be buffing any type of damage at all for any healer. I think healing DPS right now is already broken. I think healers do way too much damage as it is. I think give up Priest mind games, and if Disc has to do damage, don't let no healer should be doing even half of a DPS damage. That's just me. But Divine Aegis creates a protected shield. 3 to 6% of critical healing done was 5 to 10%. So that was a nerf kinda because it's depending on the RNG. Outlaw combat stamina bonus reduced 5 was 10%, so that's a small buff. I'm actually going to try to go through this kind of quickly so I'm not just staying on one topic. I know a lot of people want to see what's going on. Developers know outlaw survivability in changing content has been blah blah blah. Protecting it and okay, don't really care. Now, I think they nerfed Killing Spree. I think Killing Spree damage overall is garbage. I think it's one of the worst abilities I've ever seen. You only use You only use this ability when you're wanting to get out of roots. Nobody uses this for anything else. Like you just use this to like use it. It's just an ability to use. It does not do damage. Healing Surge, Shaman Healing Surge increased by 15%. Huge buff on Restless Shaman. We like those. Mana Spirit now restores 400 mana at level 70 was 200, so another buff. Totem Surge reduces the cooldown of totems by 3 to 6 seconds, was 2 to 4 seconds, another good buff. Elemental, ooh, Flame Shock, damage increased by 10%. Ooh, we don't like those. Okay, I think Elemental is an S tier class already. I think buffing their damage is going to absolutely ruin. Now the thing with Ellie is Ellie's die quick. The problem is when you're giving an Ellie free cast fireball, like when you're casting your lava. Oh wait, okay, I actually read that wrong. I thought it was lava burst. That's a lava beam. So I thought it was a 10% on Lava Burst because I was about to say if you just cast Lava Burst, you just keep spamming it. Like you can just sit there and click it like 100, like 99% of the time, you're just instant casting it. So Flame Shock increased, so that's going to be doing a lot more damage. Chain of Lightning damage increased by 10%. I don't know how good Chain of Lightning is. Maybe if you cast it like in a solo and they're all stacked, it could be really good. Like if you're doing like Stormkeeper and you do the Chain Lightning instead of the Chain, the Chain, whatever it's called. Earthquake damage. Okay, so this is not terrible buffs, I guess. It's whatever. So Resto, Healing Wave increased by 6%. Acid. I think all of these buffs are really good. I think personally Flame Shock should not have gotten buffed by 20%. I think Resto Shaman's already doing enough damage. This is broken. This should have never ever been a buff. 20% on a Lava Burst is crazy. Nobody wants to see a Resto Shaman hit 90k like Lava Burst. It's ridiculous. That's a terrible. That's probably the worst buff they've added on here so far. That's like again, they're trying to make healers hybrid and they're making them, why play DPS when you can play healer? That's what it's coming down to. Warlock, Affliction, Harvester, Soul damage increased by 25%. Honestly, I think Affliction's not A tier right now. I think this buff is fine. I mean, it's a big buff for Harvester, but like usually you're only casting that. I'm pretty sure that's like the channel ability. So like you're only casting that when you can basically when it's a channel and it lights up. So basically it's like a proc. That's the only time you click it. I don't know, 25% though is a big buff, so hopefully it's not doing too much damage. So Demo, the demonic tourney to deal 7 extra damage. So this got a 2% buff. Demonology, I think it's one of the best specs right now. I think it is. I don't know if it's S tier. I'd put it like high A tier. I think the one problem with Demo is if you get hard focus and you don't have like an Ellie or an Evoker on your team or a Ret. But to be fair, that's every single solo. You always have one of those classes in there. So I don't think Demo needed a buff. So this is kind of I mean, 2% can't be that big. So whatever. Arms Warrior Thunderclap increased by 30%. That's a big buff right there. Cleave damage increased by 5%. Whirlwind. See, I think these are fine. So these honestly are fine. Now this is where this becomes like this is no. I don't think this should have ever been in. That's like I said. That's what they try to do. They try to take like they're taking Ret down a notch, and then they're putting something like this up a notch. This is 10 to 15% on every single ability, and that I don't know. For me, that's just dumb. I don't want to be. Now, I would rather face Warriors, Fury Warriors, than a Ret. Fury Warriors die. Like they don't have to die with the swords. All they have is their wall. So like if you're full sending them, they have no ability to stop you from hitting them. So we'll have to see how big this is. Now, you're going to see a lot of Fury Warriors. Now, the good thing about Fury Warriors is they die. So, like, Warriors in general, and solo queue wise, they die. Now, like, obviously in twos, they are tanks. But, we'll have to see how this goes. I don't really personally like this big of a buff on a class. But, whatever. I'm hoping there's some, like, sub nerfs on the survivability, and they buff the damage. I'm hoping, like, they actually, like, gave Sub Rogue burst damage, but took it like Sub Rogue's a spec to where I want it to do like Shadowland's burst damage, to where if you click every cooldown and they're shadowy dueled, they should die. If they have zero cooldowns, you got in every cooldown, you outplayed them by getting every cooldown without you clicking a single button. Personally, I'm saying that a lot because I know you guys are going to be super upset because people are biased. So now I'm biased from time to time. Everyone eventually is. That's how it is. It's just how your brain functions when you're. It is what it is. So protection in your impact valley by 3% was 5% per stack. Now I don't know how big that is. That's 2% nerf. Brutal vitality now causes 10% of the damage you deal. To add your ignore pain, what's 15%? Shield special edition now increases block value by 12%. Rank was 15%, so that's a small. So this is not. I don't think this is enough to. This is enough to. This is a nerf, obviously, but not enough to. Oh wait, is that protection? Oh, that's. Oh, dude, I was reading the wrong. Oh, all right. So this is a tank nerf. Who cares? This has nobody cares about this. I shouldn't even bother reading that. Okay, player versus player. So this is strictly PvP only. So Death Knight. Death Strike healing is no longer reducing PvP combat. What's 25%? So this is a huge buff. So basically, there's no dampening on Death Strike now. So like it had at the start of every game, it had 25% reduced healing. Now it's gone. So their Death Strikes are going to be absolutely proccing for like 100 Ks on two. I don't know how hard they're hitting right now, but they're gonna be hitting fat death strikes, especially in like twos where there's only one DPS. Improved death strikes effectiveness is still reduced by 50%. Okay, I guess I don't even know why they put this in here. Inevitable enemy damage reduced by Death Knight is now reduced by 33% combat. I don't even know what the additional. So I think that's a huge nerf. Rune spell warding as Orban. Oh my god, yeah, these are big nerfs. Rune spell warding cast. So they got a big nerf on the defensive wise. So like overall DK got a big nerf for defensives. Unholy necrotic wound. Now absorb 4% of healing, what's 5%, 1% nerf right there. Heals the night for what's 5. So basically a 1% or 1% nerf on both of those. So this is their biggest bleed right now. So this and their other bleed are their biggest. Now this is one of the greatest nerfs I've seen. I think I think they should have gave Unholy DK damage. Like I don't think any DK enjoys having your pet do everything. I think they personally like to play like a weird type. They like doing the damage. So I think they should have buffed like overall like ability damage and nerfed the bleed damage. So I don't know how good DKs are gonna do, especially with no bleed damage. Everyone might go Frost DK if you think about it, especially with the amount of burst damage you get. Druid, Feral Druid nerfs, we love those. I think Viral solo queue wise is absolutely broken. I think the triple bleeding is broken. There's no skill to it. There's no like ability. You just click it and that's all. That's all she told. Now, what I don't think should have happened is I think they should have nerfed, the triple bleeding. Like maybe do it 2 max and no bite. Like I don't know how they would have to do this. Maybe nerf the bite damage. I don't think all the 3 of these should have got nerfed. I don't think the class deserved to get this much butchered. So the bite only got reduced by 5%, so it was already reduced by 20%, but now it's 25, so it's 5% nerf. So this is a big nerf, which I think it definitely needed a nerf. I don't know if it needed nerfed, this bad. That's a bad nerf. That's a big nerf for that class. Balance. I got a lot of stuff here. Oh my god, am I seeing this right? Star Surge deals 40%, 20% buff on your stars. Oh my jeez. Balanced druids are going to be insane. Oh my god, I was talking about balanced druids, but ooh, I might have to try it out. So balanced druid overall, huge. It looks like they got a small nerf right here. They got a small nerf here. Damage wise, they got a big buff. So they're gonna be doing a lot more, especially star wise. 20%. That's a big buff for one ability. Especially here. Like these are all like that's a big buff right there. So Boomy got buffed. Feral Frenzy reduced, so Feral got another nerf on top of the nerf they already had. So that's a wait, I was reading that right? When oh yeah. Okay, so that got nerfed. Resto, it looks like reduced by 50%. Ooh, that's a big. Ooh, that's on decent nerf right there. That's like a 22% nerf. All right, all right, that's fine, honestly. Budding Leaves is now 50. Okay, that's like a 20% nerf. So yeah, Resto got a decent nerf. Deep Breath deals. Oh no, no, no. Wait a second. Deep Breath deals 20% increased damage in PvP was 40%. Okay, so this got nerfed. Okay. Whew, I was like, oh no. So 20% nerfed on their Deep Breath. Spell Warding Dominance. Dominance grants 20% increased critical strike damage was 30%. So 10% nerf on their crit. Disintegrating deals 20% increased damage was 15. So it actually got 5% buff on their, disintegrate. Azure Strike deals 20% increased. I don't even know what this ability is, but I think that's their instant cast to try to get procs. That's a big buff for an instant cast, but whatever. So that's a decent nerf. I don't know how much that'll affect their one-shotting, but preservation. So this is where I would like to see this. See, this is needed to be where Resident was. Like this needed to be in the same spot. They need to nerf like everything that they do. Like on Resident, they did really good nerfs. On this looks garbage. Dream Protection heal over time can now be dispelled. That's decent. I mean, now you can purge their green big heal. Dream Protection now costs 4% mana. That's it's whatever. I don't know. For me, I honestly want to see more nerfs. I hate that class. The spec is like it's trying to like be like a wannabe druid DH, but whatever. Hunter, Roar Sacrifice now deals 10% damage, was 20%, so we got a nerf on their Roar. That's actually really nice. Arcane bottom is now 40%, was 65. That was good. This needed a nerf. I think Arcane doing that one ability is annoying, but I don't even know if that's their big ability, but whatever. Mistweaver mana generation now decreased by 10%, was 15%, so a 5% nerf. And Enveloping Mist increased by 25. Oh, that's a big buff right there. That's a big buff on the good old-fashioned Mistweavers. 25% on that Enveloping Mist. Crystal's talent reverted a previous change. Now reduces the cooldown of like. Oh, that's really good. I think the minimum cocoon was like they brought it up to like a minute and a half or something. Now it's back to 45 seconds. Really good change. We love those. Paladin, this is exactly what I want to see. I know the video is going to be a little long, so hopefully you guys, enjoy. If let me know if you guys want to see more of these in the future. I kind of want to go over everything. I don't like just skipping, so it's going to be a decent long video. But, let me know if you guys don't want me to do this anymore, and obviously I'll just, look at this myself, but whatever. Divine Protection now reduces the damage by 30%, while PvP combat was 20%, so 10% nerf, really good. Wait, that's their shield though, so, I mean, I think their shield was already garbage, but, I mean, even their shield damage, unless they have wings up and you, didn't use a CD, I guess. So that's a decent nerf. Flashlight healing increased by, okay, I think this is good. I think this is for the overall Paladin spec, right? So yeah, so H-Power got a buff. Aura of Reckoning max auras to 100% stacks was 50, so I got a 50% or 50% buff on their aura stacks. Consecration damage increased by 50% in PvP combat. That's going to be interesting, especially when they're stacking. So that's going to be some big PvE damage. So Reckoning damage increases. Damage was 25%. Oh, that's a big nerf. That's a huge nerf on their Reckoning. Holy Light now heals 75% more in PvP combat. What's okay? So you got another. Okay, that's good. That's really good actually. For okay, so H-Power did get a buff. I like that honestly. I like how they're buffing other healers. Now I wish there were. I seen Hopefully I see Rusted in there, but we'll see. Or maybe I already seen it. Actually, yeah, they did put a little bit of nerfs. Okay, so for Ret Paladin, Final Reckoning damage reduced by 20%. Insane. We love these. I think Ret Paladin is the best. Evoker DPS and Paladin are the best specs in the entire game. No, like they're in the god tier spec. They click a button and you're dead. So good nerf, Radiant Degree damage reduced, insane. We love any nerfs we can get. Paladin Ret 2 set increases the damage of Judgment Blades. So they got a nerf on their 2 set. Was 15%, now it's 10%. Crusader Strike now deals 80%. Ooh, that's a nerf, or that's a buff on their Crusader Strike. I don't know how hard it's gonna hit for now. Healing Hands now 70%. Fixed was 50, so they got a Healing Hands buff. Templar's Verdict damage increase. Okay, so that's what I like. That's what I like to see. So they're buffing damage, but they're nerfing their one shot. I think that's very good. That's a good nerf type buff. So it looks like they're buffing overall ability damage, and they're nerfing the 2 buttons that they use to one shot you. So I don't know how hard Verdict or Final Verdict was hitting for it. Hopefully, I'm hoping that wasn't the ability one-shotting. I don't really pay much attention. All I know is I just see wings and die instantly. Exorcism damage. So I think that's a buff on I think only Holy Paladins use this. So I don't even know, or maybe I'm wrong. Longbringer PP talent now deals 8% of enemies. So this got an 82% buff. So overall, really good rep. I mean, so far, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think Evoker DPS. I mean, as long as I don't really know if they nerf the overall burst damage. I think if they can tune down the Ret and the Evoker one shots, that'll be great. I will actually want to actually start healing when nobody. I don't want anybody to one shot. Like you should not be able to click your burst and click your 1-2 and one shot somebody. It's stupid. Shaman Resto Water Shield now returns 1% mana. Okay, so the Resto Shaman got a nerf. I don't like that. Storm damage increase is now 65. Wait, what? Wait, Stormkeeper damage increase is now 67% effectiveness. What was it? So what was it? Was it 100%? So you guys will have to tell me if you guys got this far in the video. Does this mean was Stormkeeper at the time 100% effectiveness, and now it got nerfed to 67%, or was it already lower than that? But I'm assuming this is a nerf, because let's be honest, if you click Stormkeeper as a Wrestle Shaman, you're instantly hitting like 140k lightning, strikes. Elemental Elemental Shaman's Dragonfly Season 1 to 2 piece tier bonus has 50 reduced effectiveness. Okay, I don't even know what their 2 set does, but that's a big nerf. 50% nerf on their effectiveness. Primal Surge Lava Burst damage increase is now 60%. So I'm pretty sure it starts at 100% and then it got nerfed. So we like those. Now I could be wrong, but whatevs. Thunder Roar talent damage no longer deals reduced damage and PvP combat was reduced. Ooh. Okay, okay, so basically a 50% buff on that. Uproar talent no longer has reduced was okay, so that's another buff. Slaughterhouse PvP talent now lasts 16 seconds, was 12. That's a big buff right there. So now it's going to last longer for the MS. Really good. Storm of Steel talent no longer has reduced damage. Oh. Okay, so overall, really good buffs, really good nerfs. And honestly, I don't know if Fury Warriors is gonna be the meta, but I assume it will be. I assume Warriors is gonna be the god tier spec. But honestly, I'm fine with that. I'd rather have Warrior be god tier. I already face Warrior 10 times a game, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think of all of the nerfs and buffs, and let me know if you want to do this every week or whenever they put out nerfs and stuff. Keep you guys up to date. But other than that, see you guys in the next video. Appreciate you watching.